Hey everyone, happy Tuesday. I hope you're having a great day. Okay. This read is kind of funny. It's kind of going to feel a little bit like Alice falling down the rabbit hole, but I think it's a good thing that we actually, again, I'm going to reiterate, took the weekend like we did. And I think there was some point in one of the readings last week where I had referenced, make sure that in the midst of all this that you have your resources in order, have your finances in order, where you kind of know where all of that sits, right? And I think that it plays a part here today, too, because I think what's happening is we come in again with the Star card, okay? Again, that's Aquarius, all right? That's the 11th house of employment, our resources, okay? Our stocks, our bonds, our relationships. That's hopes, wishes, and dreams, too, okay? But I think what's happening here is we're kind of aligning things. The Star card is a card that is very much coming in to tell you that everything, you've got your balance, okay? Everything, it's a very favorable card here, okay? Your life is in balance. You know, you've got the innocence. You're not jaded because of past issues, okay? You're generous. You're open to giving and receiving, okay? Optimism, faith, acceptance, and you're rested now, so you're able to hear, your divinely guided messages coming into you. Because a lot of times with this card, where your messages are going to show up are in your dreams. They're, again, in the washing the dishes moments, right? That's where it's going to show up for you. So be in the moment. Be present, okay? That's the energy we come in with. I pulled some clarifiers because I wasn't sure. Usually when we have two court cards that show up and they're in the same suit, it's usually a family issue, some kind of relationship issue, something like that. So I wanted to really see if that were the case. If it is, it's for a very, very small number of you, and it may be with someone in school, maybe one of your kids. But for the majority of you, what this is going to apply for, it's basically what we've been working on, okay? It's the Eight of Wands comes in. It's also the clarifier for the Page of Coins on the outbound, okay? So that is basically what it is. The Eight of Wands here, that's Mercury and Sagittarius, okay? That's the 9th house. So the houses that are lit up in this reading are the 11th house and the 9th house. Of course, it's going to apply to everyone differently, but for the majority of you, that's the house it's going to align. It's going to light up for you, okay? So it's, again, the things you're working towards, your resources. Okay, your hopes, your dreams, your visions, higher education. If there's something that you're trying to do right now and it's just going to require some extra knowledge, some extra research, Googling things. It can be formal education, but it's more just being in the know of what you're trying to do. If you're trying to launch something, do some homework, see what other people are doing, see what creative way you can branch into this, all right? Whatever it is that you're working on or you're starting to think about what you want to do, it's just saying that you're going to, bring your creative edge to it, but also you may need to learn a little bit more about it, okay? Because we've got 2 8s in the main reading and we've got 2 8s coming in as clarifiers, okay? That is success. But it's also, it can also be travel. It can be, again, can be internet, learning things, domestic, learning a different language, things that you may need to learn. It's just, I think you may need to just brush up on your skills set a little bit or acquire something else, learn a different language, things like that you may need to further your venture here. That's falling under this umbrella too, okay? But let's just say here, the 8 of Wands is too. You may feel that you're in a bit of a restrictive environment, okay? A lot of times that applies to the jobs that we don't necessarily enjoy, but they're catalysts to get us where we need to go. You may be coming up against a lot in those particular areas, okay? What the 8 of Wands is really telling you to do is to just be focused, okay? You're probably going to come up against some things, some problems at hand, some goals. Remember we had just talked about how the weekend, taking that downtime, was essential, because it really just reminded you of what balance really feels like, about how much more you can really be receptive to your messages and to signs and to this and that when you're in it. And that it was probably a crash course, because this week is just going to take off, okay? And that's what I think this reading is too. I think it's throwing a lot at you to see if you're sustainable, if you've got the sustainability to go where you're going. So it's going to throw a little bit of diversions in your way here to see what you really do about it. If you really get caught up in it, if you coast off of, what your main goals are, if you get caught up in some, temptations here, if you're, again, we talked about keeping our finances and our resources in check, right? There's also some indication here. The Strength card shows up here with the Five of Swords and the Three of Wands. The Five of Swords is just telling you, do not get caught up in the negativity around you. That's what that card is meaning here. The Strength card, again, is ethics, morals, just doing things in the right way. Don't get caught up in temptation of anything that's going to throw you off your game here, okay? Let's see here. Okay. If something comes up in the way of a diversion, just clearly deal with it. Just deal with it and get it done and get it off your plate, okay? Okay, communication again. I'm just getting that. Communication. Again, how we show up. For some reason, ethics and morals keeps coming in here, and I think that is just, that's going to help you, because it's an instant, I'm going to deal with this, I'm not going to deal with this. It's an instant for you. It's just, this is not something I'm going to engage in, period. Boom, it's gone. It's off your plate, right? Things like that are going to come in. I think that also we've got, I think yesterday we had the Queen of Cups. Today we've got the Queen of Coins, okay? She's very, very grounded. She is water of earth, so it's flowing. It's flowing energy, okay? I checked to see also if, again, like these were family members, if these were actual people. I think they're archetypes. I think the Queen of Coins is really coming in here to show you that, this is someone, an archetype of someone who is very nurturing, caring, compassionate. We can be all those things, like the Star card is telling you we're in balance, okay? But that doesn't mean that you take on other people's stuff. This is not the time to do that. This card is very, very discerning in the area, she's not frivolous. This is the card of not being frivolous. Again, don't get caught up in temptation here. Keep your resources in check, okay? This is also a time, too, where you may need to spend a little to make a little, okay? Make sure that you've thought it out, okay? That's really good if it's something that's long and thought out. But if it's something that you can't see is got a tangible outcome benefit to it right now, don't do it, okay? This is an archetype, too, that also tells you to just be, again, you know how to be focused, you know how to be direct, you know where you're going. This is also someone, she's just telling you to be in the moment, okay? Be present, feel everything, taste everything, smell everything. Make the experience of life very, very present and in the now, okay? That's going to keep you very, very on point as to where you're trying to go here. This is just, use your wisdom here, okay? And pull on things that, this is where I tell you that everything is always forward movement. Even when we feel like we're taking side steps or we've hit a wall, all of those things are what we pull on when we're in places like this, right? Where we're pulling, oh, well, this kind of bit me in the ass before. I'm going to, not go down that route again. These are the things that are really going to serve a purpose. You're going to see now why everything that we do going forward is always, always forward movement, okay? We know the things that sting and we're not going to repeat them, and it just makes things a lot easier. And we tend to get less pulled off of our course when we know these things, okay? I'm going to say this, though, okay? Know when you've overstepped, Okay, know when there's a difference between being nice and kind and compassionate to other people, but there is also a time to know when you've overstepped something and you're taking on other people's stuff that you really don't need to be doing, because that, again, is going to throw you off your course here. Okay. I think that's really what she's coming in here for. Okay. Now, the outbound card is the Page of Coins. Okay. Again, this is where your creative edge comes into something here. Okay. Work hard. This is applying the things that you know now to gain you financial freedom, time in the future. Okay. A lot of times we'll say, I'll do this when. I'll do this when I get this. Or I'm going to wait and then do this then. No. This card is telling you to apply what you've got, what you've learned. Apply it all now. Apply what you've got under your belt now for long-term sustainability. Okay? Take risks. Okay? Like I mentioned to you before. If there's something in here that's going to require you to spend a little bit more money, even spend a little bit more time. If you're, example, at night trying to learn a different language or something like that, those are resources. Your time and your energy are resources. They're priceless resources. Okay, so apply those very diligently and where you need them. Okay, use the things that you've got at hand here. Okay. Again, if you've got to acquire something new, that's what this card actually stands for. Orderly. I keep hearing that too. Do things in an orderly fashion. And again, I think that is just, again, keeping things off your plate right now that are just not that they're, some things may not be other people's issues. They may be your things that you've got to deal with, right? We always have more than one thing that we're dealing with, but really prioritize right now. Keep your lists and your energy reserve exactly where you kind of think it needs to be. The worst, like I say, that you're trying to come up against when you're trying to really do something is falling short in some area. Being sick, being tired, sleep deprived will really mess with your mind, and you really need that in this quest here. We all do, right? When we think clearly, we can. We tend to make more mistakes when we're not thinking clearly, right? Or we're caught up in other stuff that's just not productive right now. Okay. Okay. Future growth is really what we're looking for. What are we doing now that is sustainable for the future? What can, that is our goal here. We're trying to line ourselves up for the future with what we've got now, right? Okay. That's what the Hermit also coming in as a clarifier for this outbound card, the Page of Coins. He's saying pull on your wisdom. Pull on the things from the past. Okay? That's where this is coming from. And listen to your intuition too, okay? Don't forget, that card actually is Father Time, right? So he's pulling on stuff from the past is what he's telling you to do. Okay? Okay. Bear with me 1 second. I just want to see if I get anything else here. Yeah, it's planting seeds is what it's doing, okay? That I'm going to reiterate here too, okay? The Queen of Wands here, she knows the lifestyle that she wants, okay? That's what, what you're going for. That's what that card is reminding you of, okay? You know the card, the Nine of Coins, where the person is standing in the garden there with, all of her coins, all of her resources. Her time is balanced. She really gets to actually enjoy her life now. You don't get there unless you are very, very frugal. I'm not saying be penny wise and pound foolish. I'm saying really balance it out. But where I'm going with that is I'm just getting something too that, you know, a lot of times where we're in the midst of something and we're coming up against some kind of resistance, and somehow you're self-defeating, saying, you know what, this is just never going to happen. So you take the little money that you've saved and you blow it on something ridiculous, and the next day you want to kick yourself. Don't do that. Somebody, that message is coming through loud and clear for someone. So that 8 of Wands crossed by that Queen of Coins is just saying, be frivolous right now, because it's going to matter. We're building wealth for the future, okay? And wealth too, again, I know you guys are very bright and I don't need to reiterate this, but I also know there's a lot of new subscribers. So it's not a time to be caught up in any kind of temptation, you know, and that goes too, guys, for food. You know, that Cinnabon at the mall is great going down, but that's really going to screw with your mind later when you're just too tired to, you know, learn what you're trying to do at night and all of this kind of stuff. So again, I know these sound like little quirky things, but it's true, right? These little things really do sabotage us. So you've got to be on your A game now, is I guess where I'm going with this. Okay. That Page of Coins too is really just telling you, be in the moment and plant your seeds now. You all have a creative edge to you. Bring something to market that is your stamp and is a unique way for you to do something. You know, really reinvent the wheel now. Normally I'm telling you sometimes, you know, really don't do that. Now you want to do that. You want to make it unique to your own. If you look at these cards too, I just get the feeling here. Again, these aren't the Queen of Coins. I really do not think is a person. I think she's an archetype. But just look at this. There's someone leading the way for you. That's your intuition. Those hits are going to come to you, I'm telling you, from signs, from things you see on the highway, from, you know, the dishing, you know, washing the dishes kind of aha moments. Quiet yourself. Keep yourself exactly where you've been going. And just clear out the crud, really. It's not a time to be... you know, there may be things, again, that are important, but they're not important to this moment, right? You're really trying to stay single focused on things. This is not a time to multitask, okay? I think this is great. Also, if you've got things going in the legal department, in the law department, I know some of you do, because I've seen some of the comments. This card here, the 8 of Wands crossed by the Queen of Coins, tells you that that's what this house also falls into, okay? The 8 of Wands here, that's Mercury and Sagittarius. That's the 9th house. That is legal. That's law. That's so those things, again, if you're going into something, come at it at a creative way. If something's been long-winded and gone out for a long time, you know how it's going. Bring your edge to it and play the game. Play it on your ground, right? Put it a creative edge on it. You know what to do to get ahead of this here, okay? And the Star card, like I say, that's a very favorable card. That is a victory card. It's a success card. It's a destiny card, okay? So make a wish and make it big and be very, very crystal clear on it, okay? That's what it is, all right? I think it's a great reading. Again, I think it's a continuation. You know, I think the energy today is a lot clearer than it was yesterday. It's just, again, that was my reference. It's just amazing what a day can do, okay? I think this is great. And use this visual. If you need to just freeze it for a moment, really just look at, you're the page. You're the young innocent coming into this, okay? And laugh if you want, but we all are young innocents when we're doing something new. It's that flush of just that, you know, last day of school, you know, like that. Bring that into your, you know, feel it, taste it, smell it, everything that you want to do. Just be all in it, okay? Just use this. Look she's leading the way for you. This is someone that knows what they're doing. They've aligned their life in a way that they want it, and they know how to do it. You know how to do this. just be present. Don't get frustrated. You know, you're going to get there, okay? You've got the strength card down there. Again, you're going to muster all of your strength, right? Inner wisdom's where we're coming from here. We're going to show up and communicate in ways that, you know, any observers are going to say, wow, this person they really have it all together, you know? Be the example for other people and for yourself, okay? You know how to do this, okay? All right, guys, I think this is great. We're casting nets. I think this is exactly, this is forward movement. Just think, last week, guys, I want to show this as an example too. I'm going to make it short. I'm really trying. Remember, all of us, we were really just stuck, right? Really just paralyzed, stuck. There's movement now. You know, you all feel that because I feel it. I don't feel any of the black clusters that I did last week, okay? So these little steps are good. They're sustainable, all right? We don't want to do big jumps right now. Little steps is what we want to do, and this is perfect, okay? Slow and steady, right? Inch by inch. Okay, guys, I hope you have a wonderful day. And again, this is positive, okay? So don't get down on yourself, okay? Thank you so much. Remember, watch our tongues, okay? Thank you.